The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The empty seat. Who was actually just that, an empty chair in your office because you couldn't find someone to fill it. So it just sat there costing you money with all its fancy ergonomic features. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can make it easy to fill that seat with the right candidate. With nearly 60% of businesses finding someone to interview in the first week alone. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Introducing Fidelity Trader Plus, the next generation of advanced trading from Fidelity. Customize your tools and charts and access them seamlessly across desktop, web, and mobile. For faster trades, anywhere you go. Try the all-new Fidelity Trader Plus. Learn more about our most powerful trading platform yet at fidelity.com/trader plus. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Turning travel into a lifestyle. My guests today have done it for many years, and they also teach people how to do it on their very popular website, goatsontheroad.com. We've got the goats in the house today. We're going to jam on travel as a lifestyle, long-term travel, what it takes to keep yourself out there on the road, and some of the moments that they've encountered over the years where they've had to make some tough decisions on what to do with their lives so they can keep traveling. And we're going to get into all of that and much more today. Plus, I'll share some thoughts on what it takes from a mindset perspective to make travel a long-term part of your life. It's all happening in today's show right now. So strap on in, recline. Thank you for being here and welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast, my friend.
You're listening to the Zero to Travel podcast, where we explore exciting travel-based work, lifestyle, and business opportunities, helping you to achieve your wildest travel dreams. And now your host, world wanderer and travel junkie, Jason Moore.
Hey there, it's Jason with ZeroToTravel.com. Welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so very much for allowing me to bring a little travel into your ears today, wherever it is that you are in the world. This is the show to help you travel the world on your terms to fill your life with as much travel as you desire, no matter what your situation or experience. And you hear me say that intro on all of these shows, and never been truer than in today's show, where we're talking about turning travel into a lifestyle, more specifically sharing the personal story of how one couple did it and giving advice along the way and how you can do it too. So you're going to get a lot of nooks and crannies. Like, when I say nooks and crannies, would that be the right word? A lot of nice juicy tidbits maybe to help you make travel a long-term thing. I always go to nooks and crannies because I'm a big English muffins fan. I'm not going to lie to you. English muffins are one of my favorite breakfast treats when I'm back in America. I don't know if it's a treat, but I love a nice buttery English muffin. I know I'm getting off topic here, but hey, I miss my English muffins right now. I'm back in Norway. We can't get the English muffins here, and I'm closer to England. What's up with that? I don't get it. Anyway, let's get into this interview with the goats, and stick around on the other side. I'm going to give a shout out, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about what I think are some of the key personality traits that can help you make travel into a lifestyle. And we'll have a little chat about that later. So stick around for that. Please enjoy listening on my conversation with the goats, and I will see you on the other side, my friend. Are you guys ready to have a good time? Because we're about to get into this. I'm so excited to welcome my guest today, the dynamic duo behind goatsontheroad.com, where they can help you make travel a lifestyle by teaching various ways to earn money as you go. Dariece and Nick, welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast, my friends.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Hi,
Glad
Jason.
to be here.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm having a blast. I've been so excited for this because, well, we've kind of known each other in internet land the last couple years. You guys have been part of the Paradise Pack, and we've been like talking and everything, but we actually did get to quote unquote meet, as we say in Skype land, so I guess over video just pretty recently. And I was like, I got to get to know these guys more because They just seem like so much fun, and I just wanted to chat with you. So I'm really excited to have you guys here. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having us.
We're stoked to be here, man. It's been a long time coming, this, because we've kind of been chatting about doing the podcast for a while. I'm glad we're finally getting it done. It's going to be fun.
We are doing it. And I kind of want to hear a bit about what you guys were doing before you became, these rock star travel bloggers, the goats on the road. But first, I want to know where you guys met. Where did you meet? I'm going to go all Barbara
We're going
Walters.
deep here.
I'm going deep.
This is deep. I knew you were going to do the hard-hitting questions, man. You said it.
Hard-hitting.
Hard-hitting. Okay, I'll go with that one. So we are both from Canada, and we met in the big city of Calgary. And so big city is like 1 million people. And we actually are from the same small town, but we didn't meet each other until Calgary. So that's kind of weird. Like, we have so many mutual friends, and there's only like a couple of high schools where we're from, and we're the exact same age, but we didn't meet till the big city. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Serendipitous. All right, so
I know.
Well, tell me about the first date. That's what I really want to hear about.
What was the first date?
Well, we
Do
were
you remember?
friends. We were friends for a long time. So we were friends for like 4 years in Calgary, and I was just trying to make moves, but it wasn't playing out very well. So it took me 4 years to kind of make it happen.
Yeah, what a fail.
Dude, what was going on there, man? Was it one of those
man.
like, I'm gonna make this more of a friend thing, but you got stuck in the friend zone?
Yeah, I did.
He got out of the zone
Hardcore friend
eventually.
zone. I got no game, apparently.
Dariece, how did he get out of the zone? What did he do?
He grew up a little bit. That was the main thing.
I'll burn.
I think we were like 22 or 23 when we started dating, hey?
Yeah, it's all because, actually, this one is really serendipitous.
Oh.
It's all because of a landslide that happened. We like went home to our hometown, like the small town, to visit our family and stuff, and we were all friends. We were just friends, Dariece and I, and then on the way back to go back to the big city to go home, there was a landslide that like covered the highway. So it was like we had to get a hotel together.
Oh.
And I was like, if I can't do it now, I'm screwed.
Oh, really? So you guys were driving back. There was a landslide, and it was just the two of you driving
Yeah.
as friends.
Yeah.
As friends.
You
yeah.
had never
And the
gone on a
landslide-
date or anything like that.
No dates.
No,
it's
not
like
at all.
Mother Nature wanted us to get together.
All right. Well, no, hold on, because now I'm putting myself there because that could go. The energy and vibe change as soon as you guys were like, oh, I think we have to get a hotel. We were like, oh, yeah. Like, was it like an unspoken thing, or was it like, oh, it's on now, or was it still like, oh, I'm not sure what's going to happen?
I feel like there was some flirtation like the couple months leading up to it.
As soon as I knew we were going to get a hotel, I just heard this sound in the back of my head. It was kind of like chicka chicka bow wow.
The soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dariece's
No.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't hear the same sound.
Yeah, I did not do that.
That's awesome. So, I mean, that is pretty
That's
serendipitous.
like some
I guess,
back in
yeah.
the day stuff. That was like 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
Hey?
It's been a long time.
Well, I mean, at that point, yeah, you're kind of forcing the issue, right? If you've been flirting and it's kind of been building up, it's all right. It's here we go.
Yeah.
This is going to go one way or the other. So anyway, all right. So that was in 2000. What?
7.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
you guys started traveling, or you took a trip in 2008, and that kind of kickstarted the idea of traveling around the world. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the big trip. That was like the 13-month backpacking trip, Southeast Asia. But, I know what you mean. Sorry. We did a 1-week all-inclusive, like, little holiday together before that.
Right. Okay. So,
Yeah.
and then like after that, so that wasn't too long into your dating life, I guess, but you'd known each other for a
No.
while at that time. So,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
people were still kind of like, really? You selling your stuff? You're going traveling for a year? You've been dating basically a year.
Right.
Not
Are
even.
you sure?
people getting all judgy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super judgy. Or just being like, yeah, this will work out. Probably thought we're going to break up or whatever. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, with travel, it can that's kind of the thing, right? I mean, after 2 or 3 weeks, you can kind of know sometimes if this is going to work out or not. But in your case, I mean, the 1 week at the all-inclusive was enough to be like, oh, hey, we want to do this more, and we're going to make this thing happen. And I mean, I know you guys made a concerted effort to save up. I was reading how you saved money, made a lot of sacrifices to make that first trip happen. And as you were going to that first trip, was that the 13-month trip? Was there any inkling at all of the fact that, like, hey, if this works out, maybe there's another thing after this? Or were you just taking that chunk of time and you're going to say like, hey, we're going to go have this experience together, and then that's going to be it. Then we're going to come back to Canada and live our lives. Like, what were your mindsets at the time?
I think that even going for a year was so beyond like our wildest dreams before that point that when we took off on that trip, that's as far ahead as we could really see. Like, we just thought, oh my God, we managed to save enough money for a year of travel. This is insane. So it was just going to be a year and then going back to Canada to save up more money. But shortly into the trip, like maybe a few months into the trip, we were like, okay, we want to do this all the time. But even at that point, we didn't know how to do the digital nomad thing. Mm-hmm. We hadn't heard of a lot of people, making money on the road. So all we knew to do was to go back to Canada, go back to those jobs that we didn't really enjoy, and start saving money again.
But yeah, it's so true. It probably was like 3 months in or something. We were both thinking, no, we need to do this full time. Like, we can't go back to normal life kind of thing. But I mean, we had to. But our mindset did shift after a few months in.
Yeah.
Because it was so amazing.
Well, what were your jobs before the trip? What were you doing?
So I was working in an office as a real estate paralegal, like a legal assistant to lawyers.
And I was making bags in a plastic packaging factory.
Very eco-friendly.
I had 2 horrible jobs for the environment. I worked on the oil rigs for a little over a year to pay off some debt. And then I started working at this plastic packaging factory. So not very eco-friendly at all, those 2 jobs, but they allowed us to save up money.
Yeah.
So how many years were you working on the oil rigs?
So I did a little over a year on the oil rigs, and then I think I was with the plastic packaging company. Like, I was a press operator, so I was running a printing press, and I did that for about, I think, 7 years.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are both pretty physical jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the printing press one, like, Nick was doing graveyard shifts as well. So there was a whole period where we didn't see each other sometimes, like for a week or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was difficult work for sure.
When I started getting into the whole online world, I had a really hard time going and sitting in front of the computer for long periods of time. Like, I just hadn't done it before. Did you struggle with that at all? Like, even if you didn't miss your job working at the printing press or whatever, was that a hard adjustment for you?
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to not have the automatic fitness that you get from like a labor job. If you work in labor, you basically get your exercise by default. And then for me, when I went to the blog and I found out, we're sitting on the computer for 4 hours a day, then you start kind of blobbing out a little bit.
Blogger bod.
Yeah, we wrote a post about it, like called it that dealing with the struggles of blogger bod or something like that. And it's like the fact that not only do you sit on a computer, so you're not doing physical labor anymore, but you also get a lot of like, sometimes, when you build a blog, you get free travel. So you got tourism boards like whining and dining you, and you just eat like crazy. Yeah. You're drinking like crazy, and
you're sitting.
And you're sitting all the time, other than the travel days when you're out exploring and stuff. But there ends up being quite a bit of sitting. So yeah, I think it's something that we're working with still, kind of the balance of.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for me, I already worked at a computer. I sat at a computer all day. So it wasn't that big of an adjustment for me. But for Nick, yeah.
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 Yeah. For you, Dariece, like busting out of the office there and going on that first trip. I mean, how far into the trip was it that you decided, hey, that's not going back? Like, was there kind of a flip that switched in your head where you just kind of said, hey, this isn't happening anymore? Like, we got to make something happen so I can get out of this?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, like, the thing is, too, we had good jobs, right? They weren't bad jobs, but you're sitting in an office, fluorescent lighting. One time I didn't have a window, and I worked there for 3 years. And it's just kind of like, you get off work in Canada in the winter, and it's dark by 4 p.m. So you go to work, it's dark. You get off work, it's dark. It's just like pretty depressing, actually, if you think about it. So while we were in probably, I don't know if it was Thailand or somewhere, but we were both just loving the beach life and the fresh air and the nature. And we were just thinking, there's no way and I was thinking, I can't go back to that office. Absolutely not. So yeah, I got to break through that cubicle.
But then money ran out.
And then money ran out. So I'm like, ooh.
We did have to go back and work for another year to save up money. But that was the last time, because during that year we were like, okay,
we had a goal.
We'll save up this money enough for a year again of travel, or a year and a half or 2 years, whatever it was. And then we're going to find ways on the road to make money. So we knew we had kind of an exit strategy, even though we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, we just knew.
We just knew we had to make it work.
Yeah.
Nick, you mentioned this first trip kind of being the first big one that we're still talking about here, the 13 month extravaganza, if you will, kind of being like, almost that was like beyond our wildest dreams the first time we did that. I mean, is that kind of travel something that you guys ever did growing up, or what were you raised on? Were your parents working sort of traditional jobs, or how did you guys grow up in terms of how it relates to travel?
I think it was just like typical kind of Canada stuff. We went camping on the weekends in the summer and fishing and stuff, but I had never done any trips with my family.
Yeah, you'd never left Canada, and right?
I just been to the States, but I was 3, one trip, and that was it.
And me too. When I was like 7 or something, I went to Disneyland one time. But with our families and like all of my friends' families, it was like we're small town Canada.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of traveling. Like I didn't know very many people or anyone actually in my circle of friends that had done traveling with their family even abroad, you know, and definitely by the time we got to the like graduating high school, it wasn't really common for any of my friends. I don't know one person who did a gap year. Dariece knows a couple people.
I know, one person, but that's it out of like everybody in Calgary and BC that we lived in. So yeah, we definitely didn't grow up with travel with our families. But then like you meet all these people traveling from Europe. And we say, oh, did you do, travel when you were with your family? And they'd say, oh, no, we didn't do any traveling. We just went to this country, this country, this country. And they don't consider it traveling because all these countries in Europe are all like next door to each other. But I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that's 10 countries.
A lot of Europeans have been to like 20 countries by the time they're 15. Yeah, and we're like, we've only been in one province in Canada.
Because Canada's massive, right? And so is the States. So to get anywhere, it takes quite a while.
How did you guys push past this whole thing being just an idea and actually making it happen? Was it like the excitement of being together, making the decision together and kind of having that accountability with each other? Or did you seek out some other circle of friends that kind of did this? Like, how did you guys manage that back then?
Yeah, so we had like no circle of friends to turn to. Well, we had friends, but no travel friends.
We had no friends.
Right.
We were losers.
No travel friends.
But what we did actually was a ton of research on like online with Lonely Planet, and we got into a TV show called Departures. There's a plug, Departures, everybody. Great show.
It's Canadian, dude. You got to watch it if you haven't seen it before.
Such a good show. So it's a series about these guys who took off for a year. Like they left their jobs behind. They were just kind of sick of the regular routine, the 9 to 5 and stuff, and they wanted to see the world. So we got into watching that episode every week, and it really inspired us. Hey, like we already kind of had the idea, but then that gave us the push, I would say.
Yeah, definitely, because they're just backpackers. These guys doing basically exactly what we wanted to do. So between them inspiring us and then reading about actual budgets and stuff from online, other blogs, and how to save money, all that stuff. Yeah, it just became kind of an obsession that we're going to save this money and we're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were so early in the relationship, relatively speaking. I mean, this has been many years ago. And it sounds like, obviously, the trip solidified that. You guys are still together, so.
We didn't break up, so that was good.
But traveling as a couple is a different thing, and I do kind of want to get some tips on that since we're on the subject, and then I kind of want to get back to the chronology of your story. But what are some of the things that you've learned along the way traveling as a couple that could be some advice that you would give to others, whether it's a couple or maybe close friends? There's always going to be compromises when there's somebody else involved. So what are some of the things you guys learned? Like, how do you guys manage that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Really definitely good. Compromising is an important thing. Something is, how when you're at home, you have usually your work shift. You work like 9 to 5 or whatever. And then you see each other after work. So that's a lot of time apart during the day. So I think it can be a difficult challenge to see each other 24/7, which is something that like people aren't used to. It's not normal. So it can be important to start having that time to yourself. Like if you're starting to, get bitchy with each other, or you're fighting a bit, or you just want that space, just be like, well, I'm going to go for a walk here, or like Nick goes scuba diving, or I'm going to go check out this spa or do whatever. I'm going to go read my book and just have that kind of like away time. I mean, that was our thing maybe at first. I don't know. Now it's just so natural for us. It feels normal. I'm trying to think of when we first started.
Yeah, when we first started, we were like that a little more. But no, it takes time to just kind of get used to the scenario because it's so foreign to most people to always be together with anybody else, like significant other or friend, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So yeah, I think one of the biggest things would be like compromise and not being too stuck in your ways. If there's something that the other person wants to do, you kind of talk about it. Okay, well, we could head over to see that town.
Yeah.
You're interested in snorkeling, maybe we'll go do that. Even though I'm not that into it, I can sit on the boat, or just kind of being,
or like you do
malleable.
one thing and then that you want to do, and then we do one thing I want to do. And then something else too is to keep the romance alive, like to still make date nights or still make special moments, because you can kind of forget that sometimes. Like, plan a picnic or do like a romantic dinner on the beach, or just something that's special, that's different from everyday travel life.
We'll get back to the interview in just a moment. Are you somebody who lights up when you're planning a trip? You just love geeking out about a destination, finding amazing accommodations, and piecing together an unforgettable itinerary. You're already thinking like a travel advisor, so maybe you should be one. Imagine if your love of planning vacations could actually become a source of income. With Fora, you get the training, tools, and insider access to turn your passion into real earnings as a travel advisor, so you can build a thriving business on your terms, all alongside your job, family responsibilities, or other passions. Every cruise, hotel, or activity you book as a Fora advisor earns you money in the form of a commission or percentage of the booking cost. Getting started can be as easy as booking trips for people you already know. Turn your passion for travel into a fulfilling business with Fora. Become a Fora advisor today at foratravel.com/0to-travel. All one word. That's Fora, Fora, travel.com/0to-travel. Make sure you tell them we sent you. foratravel.com/0to-travel. I live in Norway, and one of my favorite Norwegian words is koselig. It means cozy. And it's a word that goes beyond a simple definition, though. Koselig is more of a vibe. It's about comfort, crafting a pleasant atmosphere at home, and taking time to enjoy life with friends and family. And if you want to check out some amazing products to help you live your best koselig life at home and do it in style, check out Cozy Earth to find everything from clothes that actually feel good, like their jogger sets, which are lightweight, breathable, and the kind of soft that only gets better over time, to clogs you'd wear to the farmer's market or the mailbox, bedding, sleepwear, and more. Plus, Cozy Earth offers risk-free purchases, backing everything with a 100-night trial because they're confident you'll feel the difference. And if you don't, returning it is simple. Give yourself the kind of comfort that lives with you all day. Head to CozyEarth.com and use my code TRAVEL, all caps, for an exclusive 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on the Zero to Travel podcast. Cozy Earth. Comfort lives here. Now, back to the show. You know what's something I do? I've never actually talked about this. Such a small thing. I did it the other day because we went to a concert. So when we're getting ready to go, it sounds so stupid, but it does something. It works. So I leave the apartment, and then, I just walk out right outside the front door, and then I turn around and I knock on the front door. And then my wife opens the door, and then it's like we're going on a date. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
What?
It sounds silly, but there's some kind of weird thing, even though I just saw her 3 seconds ago and I know what she's wearing and all that, but then I have, there's some fake banter like, oh, hey, you look so nice. How was your day? It's like,
Nick is definitely going to do that tonight.
Yeah, I'm stealing that.
Try it out, Nick, and then sometimes you have to bust through and be like, wait a minute, I need a glass of water before I leave,
Yeah, totally.
Don't
Just go to the
ask,
bathroom real quick.
yeah, but no, it is super important. Also, well, you guys work together too, so that's another huge layer. You can't just say, well, you travel together, so you work together also, because the work thing together is a totally different animal.
Yeah,
You're running a
different beast.
business together. So when did that start?
So 2012, we decided, hey?
Yeah, we started the blog in June, I believe, of 2012, June or July. But at first, it wasn't really a business that we were running together. It was just a travel blog. We were tired of
It was one of those things where I was like, I'm not going home. What are you going to do to fix it? Basically, I was like, we have to do something.
So we just started this thing, and we thought, we had heard of a blogger. Shout out to Johnny Ward of One Step Forward.
Hey, Johnny.
We had read one of his blog posts, and he said in it that he was making, I don't know, $2,500 a month or something like that. And we had read that post from an internet cafe in India, and Dariece read it first, and she says, Nick, come here. Check this out. This blogger, this travel blogger is just like writing about his travels, taking photos, and he's making money from it.
And at that time, we were traveling in India on $30 a day. So if you do the math on that, that's a lot of money we could save, or we could travel longer on $2,500 a month that he said.
Yeah. So we thought it was like amazing. So a couple months later, we found the time to start the blog. But at first, of course, we didn't know how to do any of this stuff. There wasn't that much information online that we have these days. So we were just kind of plugging at it and just writing blog posts that were kind of our diary.
Yeah, they were basically a diary. Like we used to have a free blog, you know, those free online ones. It was called like
Blogspot or whatever.
Yeah. So we were like writing for our families. So we just basically wrote for our families, but on this website we created.
Yeah, we like copied and pasted.
It was like, you know, not what you do really, but that's what we did back then. So yeah, that's when it started, was 2012. But then like Nick said, we just basically created it and wrote a diary.
Yeah, and then it took about a year to start making a little bit of money, and probably a year and a half in is when we were like, okay, maybe we can turn this into a business. We can, you know, start working on this a little harder and take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, so we've been a business couple, properly working, I would say, since what? Like when did it start?
So maybe
like 15, 14?
Yeah.
2014 probably?
Yeah,
so what is that, like 5 years?
Yeah, I guess you never know exactly what you're getting into, of course, when you start a business, as you guys know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it sounds like such a fun way to kind of get started. Like, hey, we're writing for our family. And like, yeah, you got that momentum, but in almost like a very organic way. I mean, I remember there was not much information out there at all. Have you guys always enjoyed writing? Is that something you like to do, or is that something you grew into as a necessary component of what you do?
I think I kind of grew into it. Like I used to diary and stuff when I was younger. And then I knew a lot about like typing because I worked in a law firm and stuff, but I wasn't a writer by any means. But like Nick did quite a bit of writing. Nick's the creative one, hey? He's like the artist. He does all this stuff. You're musically inclined and whatever. So I think you were a good writer, creative writer.
I liked creative writing when I was in like high school. Yeah, I liked writing, but I don't think a lot of those skills, like some of the skills like translate into blogging, but in creative writing, you're writing kind of like a novel type story. So it's good if you're a blogger to have an understanding of the language you're writing in and to, you know, be able to articulate your stories and your words. But when you get into blogging, you're also doing something different, which is you're really trying to help the reader as much as possible. And by doing that, you're often cutting out all that flowery language that a creative writer would be proud to put on a page.
True.
So you're
kind of just talking to them like they're, you know, a person and not doing the flowery stuff.
Yeah, and just trying to help them get from point A to point B in one way, shape, or form. So, but to answer your question in a really long way, I was already into it a bit. I liked writing and I liked photography, but I wasn't very good. And Dariece is a good writer, but just never was into it as much as I was.
Yeah, but then I definitely love it now. So I guess it's one of those things that, like, that's the other aspect too, is you start to learn different skills through blogging that you didn't know you had maybe, or you actually learn them. Like you have to learn how to do certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a total side note question. Nick, do you play any musical instruments?
Yeah. When Dariece said I was musically inclined, I was surprised. I can play very basic piano. I think I used to know Furley's.
Guitar. And Nick used to be a rapper. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, no.
No way.
Just throwing that out there.
All right. Well, it's been nice doing this podcast with you, Jason. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Hey, man. Don't even go there, because guess who else used to be a rapper?
What, you?
The host of this podcast, baby.
What?
Yes, I was in a rap band in high school.
So
no
good.
way. Give us a beat, Jason. We'll just rock the rest of this podcast to melody.
I mean, you know, maybe we'll have to drop. Hey, dude, maybe we got to drop a single out there. You know, we could do something on Nomad Life or something, right?
Yeah, something that no one will hear. Maybe I hung up my mic a long time ago.
Hey, we can put it on the podcast. Maybe a few people will hear it. Maybe, you know. Yeah. What was your MC name? That's what I want to know.
Ooh.
Image.
Nice.
What's
no
yours?
MC in front, just Image.
No, just Image.
Okay, that's cool. That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
What's yours? What's yours? We have to know.
Mine was, well, I had a few iterations. I think in 9th grade, I got into this whole idea where I started writing raps, and then what was I then? I think was I TikTok, or was that somebody else? I don't know. I was MC Chase at one point, and then I became the Jester.
Oh, you dropped the MC.
Yeah, well, I just went to the Jester.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, I didn't do the MC thing. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
went right
that
to
was
the
older.
gist.
That was like early 90s. I think there was all MC, and then it just became rap names.
Yeah.
Yeah, just total. Yeah, I mean, that's
Wow, we're really learning a lot about each other here. This is
Yeah.
great.
But you know what? That stuff's so fun. I look back on that stuff. It's so fun.
good.
Like just to be able to. I still see value in that now, even in what I'm doing now. Just, I mean, I still love audio. You know. And just knowing, hey, you could create something and make it, and it's cool. And like having done that before, and I mean, we're all creative, I think, in different ways. So, I mean, one of the aspects that I love about this work is the creativity. I mean, it sounds like the creativity is a part of it that you guys really enjoy as well. I mean, how do you balance the joys of that part of the work with sort of the nitty gritty stuff that you don't like so much? And what are those aspects of travel blogging that you kind of don't love?
Let's think.
Well, at first we just had to do it all ourselves.
Yeah.
So if it was nitty gritty and we didn't like it, we'd still
Too
have to.
bad.
We'd still have to do it. Just kind of, just do it.
Yeah, but I think now like there's some sort of basic tasks and stuff that we hire out to get people to do, and then we can focus on doing, like, we're doing videos now quite a bit more, things that we can actually be in ourselves, like put our face more on the website. And like, what the other things, like writing SEO content. There's certain posts I love to write about.
Yeah, if we're not experts on a topic, we don't want to write it, right? So we'll get somebody to write it.
Yeah.
And then one thing that's kind of tedious is going back over other people's work. Like even if we have an editor who goes over their stuff, then we go over it afterwards. It can be tedious to make sure like the keywords are in the right place and everything's set up properly the way we like it. So that can be slow going. Yeah,
and then I start to get bored and I go into the kitchen and I'm like, kind of hungry, or like we'll go for a swim. So yeah, but you do have to, sometimes make yourself do the things that you don't want so that you can get those out of the way and then move on to something else that you enjoy doing on the with the business. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what your favorite. I'll ask you after actually because I'm interested. But my favorite part of the blogging that we're doing now is kind of the marketing, like speaking to people and not just trying to get them to buy something, but literally like email marketing to me is like forming relationships with different people. And, when you're writing a blog post or a page on your site, even if it's a sales page, you're kind of forming that relationship. I love that part. And I love the actual design of those kind of pages.
See, the creativeness coming in.
So I love that stuff. I love communicating with people and the design. What's your favorite?
This. Chatting with you guys, getting to know other people that are into travel, into sort of not having the traditional thing, and just open-minded. And I think travel blogging, or whatever you want to call it, the travel industry, and like the part of it that we're in, I guess, just attracts a certain kind of person that I really enjoy being around and having conversations with. Really is what it comes down to it. So when it comes to that aspect of the work. Now, one thing, I don't do it in the way that you guys do it. I don't go somewhere and then try to cover it as a destination or anything like that. And that's because I actually don't like to do that, because I'm just not so detail oriented that way, where I want to track like everything I spent and talk about all the places I've been. And I'm not saying that you guys do that or not. Like, I mean, everybody does their destination coverage different, but it's just like a personal thing for me. I just don't love it. But then when I went to Nepal and I went trekking and I did I captured a lot of audio on the trek and shared it that way. I loved that. I just got way into it. I just did it for fun because it was like I could just have conversations with people. So I just tend to gravitate towards the conversational stuff because writing's hard for me. I'm not talented like you guys.
Yeah, but you found it because you're so good on this podcast, and then also with Paradise Pack as well. That was perfect.
Yeah, the video we did with you, what was it, the live stream event that we did? That's part of the reason we're doing more video on our site now and trying to be like, have us communicating with people that way, because you guys did such a wicked job of it.
Cool. It's fun. Well, I mean, vice versa, I'm inspired by the writing that you guys do on your site, goatsontheroad.com. And I actually really want to focus more on kind of creating some stuff and writing. So it's cool. So you guys have inspired me in that way. So thank you for that. All right. So just to get back here to the timeline, because I'm still curious, because we left out a chunky years here from when you started the blog, and I know we started getting to the blogging thing, and I want to pick up on a few things. I want to get some more travel blogging type tips on that, online business, and kind of earning money while you go. And I know you have a lot to say on that. And I think some of that's going to come into play here when we talk about this section of your lives coming from like 08/09 or whatever to when you started the blog. What were you guys doing to stay on the road and earn money then?
Okay, so we went back to Canada for that year that we ran out of money after that first trip, and we spent 2010 we spent in Canada, and then we left February 2011, and we haven't lived in Canada since that date. And what we did was we saved a bunch of money during that year that we were in Canada with the idea that we were not going to go back. We were going to travel for a long time and then figure out ways to make money during that time that we were traveling. Mm-hmm. So we ended up doing 16 months of backpacking, and it was like Africa, Asia, Middle East, Europe, sort of all over. And then the money started to dwindle, and we hadn't quite figured out how to make money yet.
Procrastination.
We're having too much fun. So then I had sort of like a meltdown on the beach, and I'm like, I'm not going back to Canada. I can't do it again. And Nick, what are we going to do? One of those stories. And we had heard a lot about teaching English in China, like from other backpackers on that trip. And so we thought, let's go to China and see if we can find a job.
So that's what we did basically from that place that we were in Thailand. That was on the beach of Koh Phangan, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then, so Dariece had her meltdown, and then we, shortly after that, we flew to Beijing, and we started traveling around China, and we ended up spending a month there. But the whole time we were there, for the first 7 or 8 days, we handed out resumes, and not handed out resumes, but like we saw ads on walls in bathrooms at hostels and in, cafes and, whatever. It was like teachers needed, as happens in China, like English teachers needed.
Yeah.
So we started emailing our resumes out to those ads. And after about a week or 10 days of doing that, we started getting calls back. And luckily we landed a job with a really good school in China. Mm-hmm. And we were able to basically start teaching and start making money while we were living there.
I couldn't believe it. It was like we actually had really good response within that first week. And then we ended up living in Yongzhou, China, which was about 2 hours from Shanghai, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So we lived there for a year teaching students. And my kids, they were kindergarten mostly. And then Nick had kind of like junior high, hey?
Yeah. And we had no prior experience, really. We did volunteering in Myanmar. We had met some Taiwanese people that were traveling there as well. And they'd come back every year, and they were teaching kids in this little tiny village in the north of Myanmar. And we happened to meet them at like a restaurant, and they said, hey, come with us and volunteer. So we spent a week volunteering, teaching English in a field in a village.
Yeah.
And that was the only experience we had. But they didn't really need it at that time in China. They paid for our TEFL. You need TEFL certification in order to get the visa. So when we got there, they paid for our training for TEFL. Mm-hmm. They gave us a bunch of training like in person, and then we were able to start teaching English.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And that lasted a year.
So this meltdown was pretty big. I mean, it sounds like it was a pretty major thing. Like you guys both remember it as sort of a turning point that sent you.
Yeah, it was pivotal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have those moments sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. To have big
Because
changes.
I was like, are we just going to go back and do this all again, live in Canada for another year and try to save for another year? And who knows, you might end up getting, quote, stuck there or something, or we might not go back out again.
When you guys were going to China and you kind of had this loose plan to teach English or whatever, did you have any doubts like that might not work out, or were you getting confident at that point where, hey, we can keep this going, like we're gonna make this happen no matter what? Like, what was your mindset then?
Yeah, basically it had to work.
It had to work. We were a little worried because we don't have university degrees, and a lot of the schools in China, and actually now I believe the government enforces it more strictly, but they wanted university degrees, which we didn't have. And so we were worried about that, but we thought, you know what, like go there, we'll hand out our resumes, we'll do the training, we'll try to get a job. And the university degree doesn't have to be in English or in teaching. So it's really irrelevant to the quality of teacher that you can hire. So we felt like we could be good teachers. We already did that volunteering. And so that was the only kind of hurdle that we were worried about, but we knew we had to make it work.
Yeah, and it's just kind of every step that we had done or everything since saving money, we just sort of had these goals, and we just, what's meant to be will be kind of attitude, and we just went for it.
I think it's a really empowering story because, I mean, I know there are been travelers in that situation where you kind of, you want to keep going, but you have the pullback of maybe what society dictates you're going to do or you thinks you should do, or parents or friends, or the pressures come from different places and people with each individual. But there is something to just kind of saying, hey, we have to make this work, and going until you make it work, right? And it's just nice when you hear that, like in that case, that was you guys, and it did work. So it's just empowering, I think, I just wanted to highlight a bit of that, because I think that's encouraging for somebody listening that might want to keep their travels going. And hey, don't give up. There's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, you guys have lived this sort of Swiss Army knife of making travel a lifestyle, because you've done the working overseas thing. You've gone back to save up money to travel. You've done that thing. You've now have your own businesses. I mean, what are some of the other things? House sitting. I think you guys have done a bunch of house sitting, right? I mean, what are some of the other things you've done to save money and sustain long-term travel lifestyle?
We did a little bit more volunteering. Besides that, we did bartending, but just so that we could have like drinks basically.
I think you just nailed the main things, though. Like it was like before we had when we started our blog as well, what we did was some freelance writing. So I guess that's kind of a different part of the Swiss Army knife. But mostly it was teaching English, house sitting, the whole saving money for travel, and then the blogging aspect. Yeah. Those are the four main, for sure.
I guess when it comes to sustaining long-term travel, how have things changed from when you guys started to how it is now? I mean, I don't even remember when Airbnb started. You know, a lot of things have changed in travel. So I'm just wondering how you guys have evolved with some of the things that have changed in travel, like your travel style.
Yeah, it's made it a lot easier, all the things that have come up, that's for sure. Like even when we first started traveling, there wasn't even TripAdvisor, was there?
Well, I think there was, but it wasn't popular.
Like you didn't know about it, you didn't hear about it. There was no smartphones, actually. Right. So we hadn't.
No smartphones.
I know, your internet
days.
cafes and all that. Yeah, exactly. But now it's changed for us in the sense that we can pick, I guess, where we want to stay temporarily when we're moving around a lot easier.
Yeah, because you can find a place on Airbnb, like you said, that's got high ratings. You can see the photos. It looks beautiful. It's not like you're just showing up on a bus like when you're backpacking in 2008 and you show up and you look around for a hostel or a guest house.
Yeah.
And now they're so easy. You can find a good reviewed place. So that part of it's better. One part that's not better is the smartphone thing, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like it used to be we're going to sound all old and nostalgic, but it used to be in hostels, everyone would sit around talking to each other, playing games.
Yeah.
And it's sad now to see just 10 years later that people instead have their heads down rather than, up looking at each other, which is what it was all about. And that's a big part of the reason we stopped staying at hostels. Now we do more Airbnb and stay in a nice apartment. We used to do them just for the vibe.
Yeah.
But now the vibe is changing a bit and it's a bit quieter. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with hostels still. They're still fun, but they just lost that communal vibe in a way in some places.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys have been on the road long enough where obviously you're not just traveling, this is your life. You just live on the road. And you've been living on the road now for, I guess, a decade, right?
Yeah, decade, I guess.
Decade?
Yeah, but that's so true, though, hey? Like, you're not going to stay in hostels forever. When you're living the lifestyle, when you're traveling, it's different. But yeah, like, for us, now we're apartments or sort of a boutique hotel or an eco lodge or something cool, like a unique space, or this house that we're in right now.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the interview in just a moment.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Now, back to the show. Yeah, where are you right now?
We're in Grenada in the Caribbean.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're still there.
Yeah.
I think it's where you were the last time we spoke.
We're kind of basing here and then just traveling from here for a while.
Well, I mean, tell me about the base. Did you buy a place? Are you renting it? Do you have like a lease? Is it a month-to-month thing? Like, how committed are you guys to this place?
Yeah, it's kind of month to month, hey?
Yeah, we did buy a car, but
Yeah.
we're just renting the place. We knew the people that own it, and they're never here, so we have it full time.
Yep.
And yeah, so we're just renting it. It's a really nice little place, though. It's like a house right on the sea with a dock, so I can go down the dock and go fishing.
It's got a pool.
It's got a pool. It's nice.
Sweet.
It's a nice spot.
It must be nice.
It's a great spot.
To be in a spot that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can kind of have some things that you couldn't have things before. Like, we still aren't all about possessions because we got like lost that when we started traveling and realized, there's more important things. But it is nice to have, like, I now have some necklaces, or I have
Right. Like, I have more than one necklace. Yeah,
exactly. So just a couple, little things is nice to have.
Well, on that note, because I was reading the post that you guys put up. I mean, I don't know when you put it up, but it was all about, we talked about it before, how you saved money for your first trip and some of the things you cut out and that you sold your condo in Calgary, Dariece, right? And I know it was a while ago, but now, and you've been traveling for so long, but I mean, one of the things that I think I took with me for the rest of my life from traveling for so long early on was the minimalism. And that's impacted my life in a way that I couldn't really have predicted. I didn't really associate minimalism with travel. I just thought I was traveling, and but there were all these sort of ancillary benefits to traveling, right? How has other aspects of travel changed your life?
Well, minimalism was a huge one for sure with the travel aspect. How else? The question was, how else has travel impacted our lives?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, in so many ways. I mean, when we were in Canada, we had a house and we had a car that we owned a house, and work had such a big part of our life, and we didn't get to meet a lot of new people or learn anything about new culture. So travel kind of shifted our mindset in the way that the most important thing to us is kind of meeting people and learning about different ways of life around the world, and
like experiences.
And experiences are so much more important than a house or a couch or the TV.
I think also, like, you hear all these things on the news and the media about various places around the world, and you're almost like terrified to go and visit them. But then once you're there, because we've been to quite a few of these places, you start to realize that they're not that dangerous, and people are just people all around the world, and they just want, to have community and to be healthy and have their families. And yeah, I think we've been shown that actually quite a bit.
Yeah, because we would have believed the news when we lived in Canada. Like most Canadians, or many Canadians, we would have been watching the news and been like, oh, it must be so dangerous in Iran and all this, when in reality...
Most hospitable, friendly, welcoming.
Yeah, and it's one of the safest places because there's very little petty crime, no gun crime. Yes, there's been a couple of incidences, but they're so far and few between. But the media makes it seem like it happens every day. So.
Yeah, like... It's just basically, travel is life-altering, life-changing. Sounds cliche, but it completely is.
Absolutely. What is the visa situation where you guys are right now?
So for Canadians, we get 90 days.
Okay.
And then we have to extend or go and come back.
That's for a tourist visa. So you can extend up to a year. Like, you extend for 3 months until you've been here for a year, and then you're supposed to leave and come back. But you can leave for like an hour on a flight and then come back and you're good.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, I guess, about choosing places to stay, hey, when it's like temporary or whatever, is you have to watch the visa situation.
Does it feel temporary for you guys now, or does it feel like this could be home for a little,
Well, definitely for a while, and I'm happy to travel from here, and there's also still a ton of stuff that we haven't seen on the island. And now we have friends here, and it's been nice to have a community for sure. But we never say forever. Like, we've never said forever, have we? Except for, we're going to be together forever.
Yeah.
But it's, it's, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you guys do to get plugged into either a community, like the situation you are in now, or just to connect with locals in a place? Do you have any things that you kind of do that have been great for you?
Well, actually, one thing we do here, that's how we met a lot of our good Grenadian friends, is hashing they have here. They have it all around the world. I think it started in Malaysia, like in the 70s or something, or even before then. But it's basically a walk or a hike or a run. And they plot out a path for you, and you just go on this walk. So here in Grenada, it's really popular, and there's probably like 100 people every week going. And
what's it called?
A lot of them are locals.
Hashing.
Hash House Harriers is the full name.
And like they're all around the world. Like I've seen it in Mexico and Asia and probably in the States and Canada. Yeah.
So it's a good way to meet locals because they're out to like have a good time, get some exercise. And the funny thing is, I don't know if it's like this in every country, but here in Grenada, their motto is drinkers with a running problem. So there's always beer at the end. Like it starts and ends at a little bar. They call them rum shacks here, just like a little nothing bar. And then you have some beers and hang out and meet people. So it's a good way to meet people.
I also check like on Facebook, you can see what different events are going on, like in the city or the place that you're visiting. So you just like type in the search bar, like Canggu Bali and expats or Canggu Bali festival events and stuff like that. And then you just go and see whoever shows up and maybe you can meet people that way.
Yeah. That's cool. That's great advice. I'm going to have to check that out. I wonder if they do anything here in Norway. I'll have to see. I think
they probably do.
They probably do. They have it all over the States too, and other places in Europe.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, going back to your work now and the blog, I wanted to hear a little bit more about how that evolved. I mean, you said you started telling stories to your family. You were copying and pasting into the blog. I mean, at some point it morphed into what it is today, which is a giant resource to help people make travel a lifestyle. But of course, that doesn't happen overnight. I don't know, what are some of the, I guess, tips or strategies or just general advice you would give to somebody who is considering, hey, maybe I'll document my travel and travels and share it, and maybe I could travel and also write about travel and earn money from travel, and that could be my dream, and you guys have my dream job. How do I do that? What kind of advice do you give those people?
I think the main thing was when we kind of switched our mindset from just writing those diaries, like we said, to, I mean, the blog still has our personalities, so it has some diary format, but mostly now it's switched over time to how can we help people solve a problem? And I think that the most successful blogs and websites online have a lot of pages and posts on them that actually help people answer a question or resolve a problem that they have in their life or in their travels. So a problem can be, how do I get from Mexico to Guatemala by bus? That's one answer. It's one question you can answer. Or it can be, how do I quit my job and travel like ours is? Or how can I travel more eco-friendly? Or if you're not even writing a travel blog, it can be something, how do I lose weight? Whatever, anything that can be. But it's kind of this idea that it's good to have your own personality on there, but also to be focusing on how to help people as much as possible. And then when you start doing that, you see that like people search questions in Google, right? So if you're answering those questions, you're going to get more traffic from Google. And that was the shift for us. We just kind of realized, hey, like if we write a big long guide on how to travel Thailand on a budget, we're going to get more people to the site. That's our most popular post. It's long and it answered a lot of questions. So we started doing that more often.
Yeah, you definitely have to have the reader in mind for sure.
I mean, what are some of the other trends that you've noticed lately? Because it's changed a lot. What's kind of changed? Where do you see the future of travel blogging going?
Well, since we started, a big thing is actually destination marketing. Like the whole thing where you're invited by tourism boards of various destinations to promote like the city, the country, the province, whatever it is. We see a lot of that, brands and companies utilizing bloggers now to do some marketing. That's huge.
Yeah, that's getting bigger and bigger, I think, as well. These different countries, different cities are starting to have more budget because they're starting to realize that if they hire the right bloggers, if they vet them properly, and they bring them to their destination, they can get a lot of exposure. We were just talking to one provincial tourism board in Canada who said they're making a lot of money per dollar, like $20 per dollar spent on marketing. And a lot of
with bloggers.
Yeah, a lot of their marketing effort was with bloggers, and they were seeing a huge ROI. So I think more and more of these tourism boards that are doing proper vetting are finding that, hey, like this is a good place to put our marketing budget, and therefore travel bloggers have more opportunity in that space.
Yeah.
Do you ever get burnt out on it? Like, do you ever feel like, oh, I'm tired. I kind of miss the old days where we could just travel and hang out.
Well, like, that's actually such a good question. Okay, so that's kind of what our Ecuador and Peru trip was that we just did. Because we were like, we do a lot of travel and work at the same time, like simultaneously doing both. So you have to stay places longer so that you have the time to work and see the place. And then you're the guy that's in the cafe on her computer. You're not like just enjoying it, know? So we both wanted to kick it old school and just go traveling. So that's what we just did the past 2.5 months. And it was great.
Yeah. And we haven't got fully burnt out.
No.
Because we're pretty careful not to spend more than 3 or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week on the computer. Like, we peel ourselves away to make sure we're not spending too much time on the computer and still enjoying travel or life, whatever it is. But we do get to that point, like Dariece said, where we felt like we needed kind of a holiday where we just went back to traveling.
Yeah. I don't want to be working and travel. I just want to travel.
Not always working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, was it hard to get out of the mindset of, oh, hey, we should be writing this down. Like, this is a place we should be, because you can kind of get into that when travel is your work. It's a habit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. We somehow quite easily didn't.
Oh, that's great. Did you even bring your computers, or did you just leave them completely behind?
No, we did bring them, but
we did answer emails like once a week, and Dariece did social sharing.
Yeah, but we left like the drone here at home and our camera here. We just brought like iPhones for photos.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the hardest part actually was not working. It was coming back to work life, where we have to be on the computer. And it was hard to get back in that groove, because when we left, we were like in this groove. We just released our SEO course, and we were like working every day, like really had projects going. And then we had scheduled and readied ourselves for this trip. So when we left, we didn't have to do anything. Yeah. But that meant when we come back, we didn't have any projects ongoing, and we were kind of like, what do we do? We have to like
it was this lull.
Get back into work.
Yeah.
It took a while.
But good for you guys. I mean, it must feel super fresh to just have a trip like that. Nice. I mean, how long had it been since you had just a pure travel experience like that?
Oh,
I don't know. Since
2016, Colombia?
Yeah, but we did video. So we did a trip to Colombia in 2016, was it? Yeah. And we did a month in Colombia where we didn't work on the computer so much, but at that point we were still doing video for our YouTube channel. So I think it was, I don't know.
I don't even know.
Since we started.
Like, yeah, because we were always kind of working and traveling simultaneously, right? So yeah, it was nice to have this as an actual trip.
Too long, would you say?
Too long. Let's go with too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
But I mean, I also I don't mind working and traveling as well. That's the other thing. It's
a luxury.
It's a luxury to have, exactly.
Sure.
So I mean, it was nice, but
yeah, when you come at it from the perspective of gratitude, it's like, oh, this is amazing. But I'm sure sometimes it's also, it's like any job, and it can be a struggle, I'm sure, sometimes. How do you manage the line between like staying in the moment enough to understand the moment and be present with it, but then also knowing that you're going to be maybe writing about this later or somehow incorporating it in your work, or maybe you have to do some video stuff and it's like, oh, when should I take video now? I'm talking to this local, this would be a cool shot, or should I just like stay in this conversation? Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's man. We know that all too well.
That was video for us. That is video for us. The way we did our YouTube channel before was one video every week while we were traveling, like you said, interviewing, like, having locals on, trying to stop the situation so we can get the perfect shot.
Yeah.
Like if we were doing a cooking class, it's like, don't break that egg yet. Let us get this video of it. And that we really started to realize was taking away from our travels. And also at the same time, our blog was shifting towards helping people find different jobs. So we were already researching and interviewing people who are doing different travel jobs to have blog posts about that on our site. So we didn't have to document as much with the video of our travels. So, and when we started to notice that it was really taking away from and how we created too, because if you start getting frustrated with having to record every moment and you feel like it's taking away from the experience, then that kind of shows itself on the video.
Definitely comes across.
It comes across. So we basically at that point decided to sell our drone and sell our gimbal and go much more basic with our video, because it just got to the point that it was too much to handle to make it natural.
Yeah. And then now we have a drone, but now we just use it for fun, kind of like when you want to get like a cool shot or whatever. But in terms of documenting, I would have a little notepad, or I would just put some notes on my iPhone. But really, we're really focused on now making sure that we're actually enjoying travel, because it's the whole point of this lifestyle, enjoying the moment, being present.
And then we can write about it later, probably in better, with a better attitude if we write about it later.
And actually, you soaked it all up, so you actually probably could write about it better.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the whole thing with Ecuador and Peru. Like, I am writing about it now, and I didn't really even take notes, but yet I'm finding it easy to write about because I was present.
Yeah, you're in the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Did you get to that point because you had some kind of existential crisis around it? Like, did you guys have a conversation about it, or did it just kind of organically get to that?
We just not like really. There was a few points when we were traveling. One was literally a cooking class. We were like trying to film this cooking class, and this was with other people in it. And we'd be like, wait, oh, can you hold on? I would just, don't cut that yet. I got to get it. He'd like, Nick crouches down to get the angle. I'm like, what are we doing? This is actually embarrassing, because people are also trying to enjoy this cooking class.
Yeah, I mean, we were working with the company in that case
but
for marketing, but still it felt like we were hindering not only our experience, but everybody else's around us. And we had so much camera equipment. And I remember a couple times when we're trying to get a shot and like the drone battery died and then the gimbal battery dies simultaneously. And then, something's wrong with the GoPro, it glitches out, and we just get so frustrated sometimes. And
then I couldn't spot the drone, so like Nick gets all frustrated at me, and it's just like, oh god. So we just gave it up.
The couples fights ensue.
Yeah,
like, this is not worth it, really. Like,
right.
For us, the writing part is easy, and the photography to an extent is easy, but the video was really taking over. So,
and now we've changed our style of video for something that is more us, more relaxed, and it's not as stressful. There's not like the drone clips and then this and that and a weekly thing. It's just chatting to the camera mostly, and a few travel clips. So it's different now, and it's better.
That's great. I mean, it's great that you guys also are able to talk about those things, or maybe argue about them first and talk about them later or whatever. But just, I don't know. It's something that I think is hugely important for you as an individual with your work, or not you, you guys specifically, but anybody that's doing this type of thing. It does change the travel experience, right? So just being aware of that and understanding how to manage. I mean, I think this is one of the cool things about what you guys do, what you get to do when you run your own website or business, is that if you don't like the way you're doing something, you can just change it, right? You're just like, all right, we're just going to do like more relaxed videos, and this is going to be more us and who we are now,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for other people who are listening to it, it's important that's why your blog should be something you're passionate about, and it should be, centered around things you're going to be interested in anyways. So you're not forcing yourself into situations that you don't like and you're not going to have a good time in. So if you're blogging about, I don't know,
dogs.
If you're blogging about
I love dogs.
If you're blogging about adventure, and then you always have to be like jumping off of a building or something to make your readers follow. Maybe then if that's not working for you anymore, you get a little older, you don't want to do bungee jumping everywhere you go, then you have to kind of let your blog evolve with you, like you're saying, and not be afraid to let your readers know that this is who I am and I'm part of this blog. So, yeah,
I'm sure you've been asked it a million times, but where did the goats thing come from?
So that first trip that we did through Southeast Asia and India, there was goats like all over the road, everywhere. And there still are, like in Grenada here too, everywhere. But we started calling each other Goaty as well. And like a pet name kind of thing. And then we were like, well, there's goats on the road and we're on the road. And so we're goats on the road. Yeah.
There you go.
Still meeting.
Not a lot of thought.
It's very deep.
I love it though. It's so catchy,
It's one of those things that like, at least it's memorable. Even if you don't know the name, you can just Google like goat travel or something, and we'll come up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And I know the power. Did the power come on yet? I don't know if that. Hopefully, you're cooling down
I don't think
now,
so.
or
we're
outside.
all good.
Our audio probably got worse because now we're on like the iPhone.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's all good. I really appreciate the time that you guys gave us today, and of course the website goatsontheroad.com. And do you guys want to share anything else? You got some courses there and different things. If you just want to let people know where they can find you.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, goatsontheroad.com is our site, and it's all about, like Trev said, to try to find different ways to make money on the road. Sorry, Jason said.
Paradise Pack. Who are we talking to?
Yeah,
Jason
no
how to make money on the road and different jobs you can do. And we also, because our favorite job that we found is travel blogging, we also have our own course that we do for new people who are starting with WordPress. And we show them how to start a brand new blog and then how to start building it up and how to write posts that can, get traffic like we were talking about today, and how to build a personal brand. And the course is free when you start it up through our link. And then we also have more courses to help you grow and evolve, like our SEO course to help you learn how to get more traffic from Google. So that's our favorite things about the website right now.
Yeah, and then of course we have all of our articles about different jobs you can do around the world, and we also have an ebook if anybody wants to come and grab that, 101 travel jobs you can do abroad.
Also free.
Also free.
Awesome, guys. Well, I mean, we both love helping people travel, and I loved talking to you guys today.
And I'm glad we finally got to chat with you.
Yes, it was so fun. I hope we get to do it over a beer in person at some point.
Same.
It sounds like
should.
I'm going to have to get down to the Caribbean, though. I don't think you guys are going to be coming up.
So.
I'm getting the sense that you don't love colder weather. So.
Not a huge fan.
Norway.
You're in Norway now? I'd love to go to Norway for sure.
You're in Norway?
Yeah, I'm in Norway.
What? I would love to go to Norway.
All right. Well, hey, if the destination boards are listening, send these guys in Norway. Get them up here, ready to hang out. No, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I'm following along and love it. And look forward to staying in touch.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Us too. Thank you so much,
All
man.
right, guys.
Talk to you later.
See ya. There you have it, my chat with the GOATs. I want to thank Nick and Dariece for stopping by this show. They couldn't be any cooler. I love those two. I cannot wait to meet up with them in person somewhere. I know it's going to happen. It's got to happen because I just really love talking to them. If you guys are listening to this, thank you again. I love talking to you guys. And you could probably hear that in my enthusiasm during our conversation. Had an absolute blast. And always love to hear a real story around how somebody builds a life of travel or their life around travel. And like anything in life, there are always twists and turns, and inevitably some things come to a head where you have to make big decisions. And these big moments, these big decisions can define what the next path is. We can oftentimes maybe put too much weight into those, too much pressure on them, but they will send you on some kind of new path. And this is life, and a life of travel is no exception. Now, even if you're just traveling whenever you can and you're based somewhere like I am right now, that is my life. I still know I love to travel and I want to make it a part of my life. So I stay very aware of the fact that my highest value is personal freedom, and that means freedom to travel. That's a big part of that. And how I do that, I'll give you an example, is I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 kids, only about a 600 square foot apartment here in Oslo, Norway, which is an expensive city. We could move into a bigger place. We could pay more in our mortgage and get in that loop. Maybe we will do that someday. I don't know. But right now, I know this is a place we can comfortably afford, and it's not going to restrict me from doing other things later on down the road. My wife and I, we've talked about a lot of different maybe trips and adventures and things we want to do, and we don't feel hamstrung by our mortgage and our lifestyle here. So that's one personal example of how I've had to change my life around to continue to adapt to make travel a lifestyle, even though, again, I'm based somewhere and I'm not traveling nomadically. But even being based somewhere, there has to be some adaptability in order to be sure that you can still keep those values that are your highest values at the top of the list, and staying aware of them, making sure you're living in your life in a way to serve your own highest values. And it's not always easy. Trust me, some crying kids, small apartment. Hey, we want more space, man. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's not what we can afford right now comfortably. And we value our freedom more than we value getting into a situation where we have to just work all the time so we can afford a place. So these are the decisions that you have to make, and they impact your daily life for sure. But when you want to turn travel into a lifestyle over the long term, there are a few key things you can do. There are many key things you can do, but I want to highlight 3 of them right now. The first thing is what I just alluded to during that story I was telling you about our small apartment here in Oslo, and that's just staying aware of your highest values. For me, my highest value is personal freedom. I really value freedom in a way that I want to have freedom with my time, whether that's spending time with my kids or being able to travel or see family when I want to or friends or whatever. I know personal freedom is my highest value. So when I look at decisions on things I might want to bring into my life, maybe it's a material possession. For example, a car. I don't have a car here now. I could look at it and say, well, a car gives me personal freedom. It does. You can hop in your car. You can go wherever you want. But when I look at the financial aspect of the car, it takes away from my freedom because it's something that I need to constantly maintain. It's something that I have to invest my money in monthly with insurance and all that. I'm not saying I'm never going to have a car again or that it's a problem to have a car. It isn't. I love having a car. But right now we live in a city. We have free public transportation because my wife works for the public transportation company here in Oslo. So there's really no reason to have a car for me right now. And I feel like that's the right decision to serve that value right now. Again, it doesn't mean I'm not going to change my mind, but that's an example of serving my highest value, personal freedom in the moment right now, where my life is right now and how I feel about that right now. So of course I keep saying right now, because checking in with ourselves right now in the present moment and who we are and what we might want in the next few months or 6 months or a year or whatever. We don't know who we're going to be, of course, but we can check in with who we are right now and make decisions based on our highest values right now, based on who we are today, and knowing that we're going to change, but that's okay. We can only base decisions on who we are today. And travel is going to change, of course, because we change as people. We grow. Our situations change. And that's totally cool. And that's why the second thing I want to highlight is the idea of being flexible and adaptable when it comes to turning travel into a lifestyle. Because let's face it, there might be situations, say you're wanting to be a nomadic traveler and you set yourself up to do a house sit where you're going to house sit somewhere for 6 months. It's going to launch your trip. You're going to live in France by the vineyards and take care of this farm and all this stuff. And then the week before, it falls through. Well, are you going to cancel your trip and not start your travels, or are you going to be flexible and adaptable and maybe find another solution? And these are things that can happen, of course. If you're out on the road long enough and you want to keep the travels going, you're going to have to keep finding a way. You're going to have to be flexible and adaptable. And the less picky we are about the things that we do to keep us on the road, the more options we will have as individuals. I got to say, I'm older now. I'm a little more picky than I was, but I've been through this time in my life before and certainly have done different jobs and things that I wasn't necessarily in love with totally, but it could keep me on the road. It could keep me traveling, and that was good enough for me. That superseded the fact that the job had to be super interesting or something that I was really into, because it kept me on the road. That was good enough for me. So being flexible and being adaptable. And the last thing I'll highlight here is a quick quote from Tony Robbins. Now, however you feel about him, it doesn't matter. I still love this quote. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. And of course, being resourceful, I've shared this quote on the show before, is such a empowering thing, knowing that we are all resourceful individuals and that we can solve problems and get things done and make things happen. And that's comforting. That's a comforting thought to lean on when you're going into a situation where it might be a little unpredictable, a little uncomfortable, and just gently reminding yourself, hey, I'm a resourceful dude or dudette. I can make things happen. I can figure this out. And that's empowering and also comforting. So I wanted to share those 3 things with you. Just staying in touch with your highest value and who you are today, being flexible and adaptable, and resourcefulness being the ultimate resource, that you are a resourceful individual. Those are 3 great things to keep in mind that I wanted to highlight around turning travel into a lifestyle for your whole life, which is one thing we love to talk about on this show. As you know, if you are new to this show, by the way, welcome. Welcome to the Zero to Travel Caravan, my friend. If you're not new, welcome back. I really appreciate each and every one of you spending time with me today, and I love to highlight stories from the community. I'm going to do that right now. I just got an email today from Kyle. I'll read you a little bit. He said, I started listening to Zero to Travel about 2 years ago to keep me motivated when I decided I wanted to quit my job one day and travel indefinitely. I listen mostly at work, which is a great way to conjure up an escape plan. LOL. He goes on to say, I dream of being a filmmaker focusing on the travel niche. I have decided to take the leap of setting a date and buying a plane ticket to finally go travel indefinitely and create travel films while experiencing the world. I've been planning on this for about 2 years, which has led me to working various jobs to save money and prep for travel. But as life happens, things keep getting in the way, and I had to spend what savings I had and have accumulated debt. The years fly by so quick, and my creative fire is so hot right now, I can't wait for another year to prep, so I'm just going to wing it and figure out the business along the way. What do you think? And he just says, Jason, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Sorry for taking up your time. I know you're busy. Thanks again. Hey, I'm never too busy for you guys. And thanks for the email. What do I think? It sounds like you're ready to go, my man. I mean, I think if you just listen to the outro of this podcast and those 3 things I highlighted, I mean, you're hitting them all to a T, right? Putting in your highest value of travel, being flexible and adaptable, and knowing that you're a resourceful individual. I cannot know what your exact situation is and what your debt exactly is and everything like that. You got to do what you think's right for you. Nobody can tell you what to do it, but judging by this email that you wrote, I feel through this email that you've already made your decision. And sometimes when that switch is flipped, it's really hard to go back the other way. And of course, you don't want to have any regrets in life. Who knows where this will take you? One thing's certain, you can't be a filmmaker focusing on the travel niche if you're not making travel films and honing your craft and doing that. Now, whether you have to do that on the road or you want to do it at home or whatever, that's totally up to you. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I think, and I think I shared that in my little soliloquy here in the outro of this podcast. So you can take those words and, yeah, stew on them, think about them. Let me know what you decide. I never want to tell anybody what to do. I believe everybody can, of course, decide that for themselves. And if you really dig deep down, I think you know what you need to do. We all know what we need to do. And sometimes that's easy. Sometimes that's tough. So it goes. So it goes, my friends. Okay. That's about it. It's a wrap. I want to thank you again for listening. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. If you haven't left a review, I don't ask for them very often, but I sure do love reading them. Or you can reach out to me, jason@zerototravel.com, and send me a note like Kyle did. Let me know what you're up to and where you're at in the world, in life, whatever. I am here for you, my friend, and I'd love to hear from you. So let's make this a two-way conversation. This is a community-powered show. I make this show for you, and I hope to hear from you one day. So thank you so much for your time, and I will see you next time, my friend. Cheers.
This podcast has been brought to you by ZeroToTravel.com. Ideas and advice to make your travel dreams a reality.